Alright, something I've been asked about a few times now. I was going to include it in the last Q&A video, but I figured it deserved its own treatment in a little clip. Is we're going to have a look at how to use your Fractal AX8 and the Universal Audio Apollo Twin to reamp guitars. The nice thing about the Apollo Twin is it has a high impedance guitar input, which basically means you can cut a clean DI and send that straight back out to the front input of your AX8 without the need for a reamp box. So that's really, really handy. But let's just get straight into the whole process. I will go over all the ins and outs and Pro Tools settings, or I should say whatever your sort of DAW of choice is. It's going to vary between things, but I'm a Pro Tools user, so I will do it all in Pro Tools using the AX8, the Apollo Twin, and we'll reamp some guitar tracks. Let's go. Okay, if you want to plug into your AX8 to record the dry track, do this at the same time. Go into the global menu, go to in and out, and then scroll across until you get to this audio section of the in and out menu. So you can see that at the moment I'm using the two main outputs, so I'm recording in stereo. But the important thing to do is set output 2 to not output 1, but input 1. This is going to echo input 1, meaning that you can take output 2 on your AX8 and send it to a DI track in your DAW, and this is going to be the track that we reamp. So again, you set output 2 echo to input 1. This is going to be your dry guitar sound from the AX8. Send that to your interface and record that as your DI track, and then this is going to be the track that we reamp later. Okay, once you've got your front pan on your AX8 set up, let's make some connections. First port of call is going to be the main guitar track, which is input number 1 instrument. So plug your guitar in here. That's easy enough. Now, you're going to have a preset loaded up in the AX8, and you want that main output there, so output number 1, to go into mic line 2 of the Apollo Twin. I'll show you why it's line 2 in a second. I'm just going to use the unbalance outs here at the moment. You can obviously use SPDIF if your interface has a SPDIF to Toslink converter. You can go into here. Mine does not, and I don't have a handy XLR, so I'm just using the unbalance out, which is going to sound fine because we're not going to actually use this track anyway. So there we go, and that is going to be mic line 2. Now what we have to do is turn our Apollo Twin around because we're going to run our DI signal from the AX8 into the front of the Apollo Twin. Okay, since we've got output number 2 set to mirror input number 1, what I'm going to do is take a cable from out 2, which is this signal here, the guitar, getting routed directly to output number 2, independent of what's coming out of output 1, and then I'm going to plug this into the instrument input of my Apollo Twin. So there you go. Now what we've created are 2 signals. Output number 1 is going to be our main AX8 preset with amp and cab sims, and then output number 2 is merely mirroring input number 1, and that's going into the input of my Apollo Twin. So we've made our basic connections for the DI. In Pro Tools, let's set our ins and outs. The important thing is setting line 3 and 4 to be our bus send in the bus menu, as we can see here. Once you've got that done, we can have a look at the assignments, and we're going to set DI to input 1, we're going to set the reamp to input 2, and we're going to set the AX8 in also to input 2. Once we've got that out of the way, let's go to the DI track and set its output to line 3 and 4. Okay, so this is all a little bit ghetto at the moment. You're just hearing the camera audio, not the DI audio, but in the UAD console, you can hear if I solo input number 1, I have got my DI track. If I solo number 2, I'm just going to have the AX8, which is set in a Friedman model at the moment. Okay, now that we've got all of that cooking, I'm not going to worry about running any preamps or anything on this at the moment. They're just the levels as they are. You can obviously go back and sort of tweak these to your liking. Let's go over to Pro Tools. What I'm going to do is I'm going to arm the DI track. I'm going to arm the normal recording track. So the nice thing about the UAD obviously is that we can monitor on the input, so I also have both of these tracks muted at the moment, and from before hopefully you got a good grasp of what the ins and outs should be. So what I'm going to do is just record a quick little DI track. Let's do that. Okay, we will stop that, so that was easy enough. Now, I can and put my guitar down, what I'm going to do is I am going to unarm the main AX8 track that I just recorded, and over here you can probably see like a little blue smudge, but we have got the main DI track, so that's recorded nicely. Now, all I have to do is change my inputs and outputs. So this guitar cable, I'm going to do this right now, put my guitar over here. Still going to hit the front end of the AX8, but I'm going to go to a different patch. Let's go to this recto patch, and I'll just put that on the tuner to mute it. So this is going from line 3-4 on the back of my UAD, which is over here. So now, what I'm going to do, I do have that DI track running out to the different outputs. So in the output section, I have selected line 3 and 4. Basically now I should be able to play back this track and hear the reamped signal. I've got it on mute, so arm the reamp track, have the DI running out. Let's do it. Okay, awesome. What I can do now is I can mute the DI and I can have a listen to the original track, or I can have a listen to the reamp track. And that's how you can get by reamping with your Fractal AX8. It's not quite as easy as with the XFX2 or 3, but it does the job.